My name is Annie and I'm currently a second year SAMBa student, so I'm part of cohort 10, and I'm doing a stats PhD, which is looking at the effect of sequential therapy on patients with psoriatic arthritis.
So I'm Amin Savir, so I'm SAMBa cohort 10. So I'm my first year of research, but second year in SAMBa, so I had the MSc last year. And my research is in inverse problems, see if we can establish more mathematical theory and convergence rates and etc., stuff like that.
So hello, I'm Caroline, I'm in SAMBa cohort 10. I've just started the research phase of the programme, so I did the first training year last year, and now I've just started working on a project in mathematical biology to do with sort of agent-based and continuum models for tuberculosis, so like lung disease, and kind of looking at how we can maybe introduce some more detailed and more accurate models for treatment into sort of my supervisor's existing work.
We have two different routes into SAMBa. So there's one through partner projects where you typically come through on quite a defined industrial project. So that at least the sort of shape of the PhD is mapped out. And the other route is where you choose your PhD. So you don't come in with a set project. So over the course of the first year, you will choose your PhD, choose your supervisor, and try and within that identify particular areas of interest.
The space for that planning is in second semester in the personal research project. Some people, their supervisors are kind of prescriptive and they say this is what I want to do, and you find your space in that, and other supervisors are more open-ended, and you have like loads of flexibility in what you define to do, but you get to kind of choose, you sort of know what you're getting into. Some people prefer that more directed, here's my plan for you, and other people prefer the more exploratory, I'm going to define my own questions, and SAMBa allows kind of both versions of formulating that problem.
Typically when a student would approach me, I'd maybe have some sort of area of math that I think might be interesting. I'd probably suggest that, but these are not binding suggestions. So if a student says they want to work on something, maybe it's related to that, but maybe they want to work on a particular aspect, a student has a lot of freedom to choose their project. It's ultimately their PhD, and I'm sort of just, my role is just advising them along the way.
If you come through on the partner project route, obviously the sort of broad outlines of the project is often quite sort of scoped, because they will often be with an industrial partner, so the industrial partner will have some idea of the sort of things they're trying to achieve from the PhD. There's quite a lot of flexibility even within those to often to sort of put your own personal sort of stamp or imprint on the project.
So when I joined SAMBa, I knew I wanted to do a stats PhD, but I didn't know with who or in what really. But yeah, that's the good thing about SAMBa. The first year you do get a couple of months to try figure out who you like working with or what sort of area you want to do.
So when joining SAMBa, I was more in the PD's fluid types, and I didn't know anything about inverse problems and numerical analysis as much as I do now. So it helped through reading courses and modules with my supervisor that I'm now with now. So that helped, and some of the ITTs in terms of just seeing what else is out there. And then I kind of conversed over the summer to this area in inverse problems.
I've done a master's before I started, like a couple of years ago, and I guess kind of I sort of knew based on that the stuff I found particularly interesting was in either fluids or mathematical biology, or maybe a little bit of both. So I guess over the course of the first year of SAMBa, I had the opportunity to sort of try some projects in those different areas and also just get to know different supervisors.
I decided to do a reading course with Teresa, who is my supervisor, in second semester, and I really liked working with her, and that was also in a project to do with psoriatic arthritis. So I just asked if she had any potential PhD projects, and I just kind of fell into it that way.
I think actually a really big thing for me was having a real world application and sort of feeling like what I was doing was going to actually make a practical difference. So I didn't want to end up doing something that was too theoretical.
I just like doing an applied project as well. I like working with data, and I just really like the application as well. It feels like you're making a difference.
Bearing in mind kind of what you want to get out of the project and what sort of motivates you is quite important, I think. So I guess feeling like the application you're working on is something that you feel passionately about.
Like if you have a project you're not that interested in, it's very hard to motivate yourself. I'd imagine. I actually do like mine, so I'm not sure.
Parts of the PhD are going to get difficult and I'm going to feel frustrated at times, particularly if like the maths isn't working out, but if sort of the bigger picture, still feel positive about it, that seemed kind of important to me.
In my situation, I had like a toss-up between 2 supervisors and 2 projects. But the project in one of them I didn't have a particular feel if I could do that for the next 3 or 4 years. It's kind of hard to plan the next 3 or 4 years. Are you going to see this all the time? Are you going to love it? Or is it going to become a chore? And I think over time, as I grew more and more into the inverse problems idea, I kind of felt, I can see myself looking at this more and be a bit more excited.